Hello, Joanne Camilli once again. You know, I recently did the Leadership Wisdom number 3, where we talked about what can lead to burnout. Basically, you can't give out of an empty wagon. You really got to take care of yourself. And that led me to several discussions with clients and friends. And I just got some inspiration also from the Leslie Jones video that I referenced there, where she talked on The View about wanting to give up. And the thought that occurred to me was, don't give up on your talent. She said in the video, by the way, if you watch it, and I'll link it below, that you're not special. Everybody goes through this. But I want to challenge that. We are special, and therefore we've got to work through it. And so this leadership wisdom is really a discussion about burnout and some ways to think about it, because I believe that burnout can be a breakthrough. And I'm going to give you some insight onto that based on what I experienced in that. So hang tight. You know what time it is. Get out your notepad and get ready to take notes, because we're going to talk about how to reframe burnout. Okay, leadership wisdom number 4: burnout can be a breakthrough. You see, during COVID, I realized I was doing a lot of traveling, a lot of serving clients on site, which I totally love. And COVID forced me to stop. And it's in the stopping that I realized how not only exhausted I was, but how I was just kind of feeling numb. I had actually, and I discovered I had actually become very disconnected from my purpose, my mission, myself. I became disconnected from myself. And so I had no natural drive or motivation to do the things that I had done in the past. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to take a break. Let me find something else to do. So I got this big idea that I was going to teach myself to day trade. Something very different, easy way to make money, I'm thinking. And so I started learning how to day trade and was doing, really well at it. And then about 3 months in, I'd sit, because when you day trade, you have to like really watch the market. You have to be in front of um, the charts and really strategize. It's very to do it successfully. It really is a full time job, which I kind of didn't realize at the time. But anyway, about 3 months in, I was thinking to myself, you know what? This is kind of sucking the life right out of me. And even though I was enjoying it on one level, it wasn't feeding me. It wasn't, I just really felt like my spirit was dead. So about that time, COVID was kind of waning a bit, and clients were asking me to come back on site. And by the time, also too, I was doing virtual workshops too, which was great. Uh, I would say though that particularly with some topics, nothing replaces in person, because there is a physical energy that you get when you're around people that cannot be translated through a screen, cannot be translated digitally. So anyway, I had a client ask me to do a retreat, so I drove up there and did the retreat, and I felt like the light bulb got turned back on. My energy was just off the charts. I was thrilled and excited and just really pumped, and my heart just started opening up again. And I realized this is it. This is my thing. This is really is my calling, because I'd done, purpose and mission statements way back in the beginning when I started my business 20 something years ago. It is to inspire and lead people to live happy, meaningful lives. That has been my through line. And if you do any career work with me, and leadership work, you'll know that that's one thing we talk about. That was my through line, and that has not changed. That's been consistent throughout my life, and I became disconnected from that. And I realized that if I realized through burnout, I had a breakthrough, and I that breakthrough was a rediscovery of what was really meaningful to me, what my purpose and reason is here on earth, and what gave me energy and filled my heart and my spirit. Now, um, I believe that if we, because a lot of times when people experience burnout, it becomes a like, oh no, I'm I don't have control. I don't know where I'm going. I'm in a fog. In fact, to some degree, it's even called on a spiritual level, dark night of the soul. And I've had one of those too. So this is a little bit different, though. This was kind of close. It is seen as something tragic, something like, oh no, this is terrible. And I want us to reframe burnout and to see it as an opportunity. Burnout is information. And so if you listen to the leadership wisdom number 3 about you can't give out of an empty wagon, and the tips that I give for how to keep your wagon full and how to make a plan for restoration and those kind of things. If you get to the point of burnout, then it gives you an opportunity to really rethink your life, rethink how you're handling your life, and to give yourself a sense of rediscovering and reconnecting with what really matters. Because somewhere along the way, when you get to burnout, you have become disconnected, even the point of perhaps becoming disconnected from yourself. And so that's how I want us to reframe burnout. So here's a couple things couple reframe points or mindset changes that I want to encourage you to have. The first one is to see, and I'm going to repeat myself here a little bit, but I really want to put this in like an order of 1, 2, 3. Number 1, see burnout as an opportunity. Number 2, see burnout as information about how you have been making decisions about your life in the past. Number 3, you need contrast for the best decisions. So sometimes in life we need an opposite to know what we don't want so that we can get clear on what we do want. So we do need contrast. So for me, in my life example, it was trading. Trading was the contrast and all that takes to do well. That was a contrast I needed to then push me to rediscover what was most meaningful and to push me to look and reconnect with the thing that mattered most. Okay, the next one. You need to sometimes feel empty so that you can become full again. So part of burnout is emptying out the stuff that's not working for you. And I said to myself, I feel like a dish rag that's been completely, um, you know, all the water's out of it, squeezed out. I felt squeezed out, very empty. Well, see that as a blessing, see that as an opportunity, because probably the stuff that was filling you up before, filling up your energy wasn't feeding you. So sometimes you need to become empty so that you can fill your glass again, fill your spirit, fill your life again with the things that are going to be most meaningful and that are going to feed you. There, you do develop a thirst for life again. And we got to get that thirst and that desire for life again. And sometimes you do need to get empty so that you can get full again. Okay, and then finally, I just want to reiterate that being unsettled, being confused, being in the fog is not a bad thing. It is information about something going off track. So that is just, okay, if I'm feeling these things, don't plow through it per se, but stop and give yourself time to figure out what's going on and how I can get back on track again. So those are the tips that I want to offer you, tips and insights on how to reframe burnout so that burnout can become an opportunity for a breakthrough. And I invite you, if you haven't seen Leadership Wisdom number 3 on You Can't Give Out of an Empty Wagon, that is the partner to this Leadership Wisdom number 4. All right, see you in the next video. Also, make sure that you've subscribed and click the bell so you get notified of each new release. And remember, everything that we talk about is in the context of the distinct leader blueprint that we use to help leaders realize their vision and their talent in tangible, measurable ways. I encourage you, be distinct.